Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Hasan and the topic of our project is database relationships. Let's start with introduction. What is database relationship? The database terms relational and relationship describe the way that data in tables are connected. A relational database consists of a series of two or more tables that are linked by a specific key. A relational database differs from unstructured databases, which are more common in massive big data initiatives. Relational databases tend to require strict rules about how tables are defined and what constitutes a valid relationship among tables. Relationships allow you to describe the connections between different database tables in powerful ways. These relationships can then be leveraged to perform powerful cross-table queries known as joins. Types of database relationships. There are three types of database relationship. One is one-to-one relationship. One-to-one relationships occur when each entry in the first table has one and only one counterpart in the second table. One-to-one relationships are rarely used because it is often more efficient to put all the information in a single table. Some database designers take advantage of this relationship by creating tables that contain a subset of the data from another table. The second is one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationships are the most common type of database relationship. They occur when each record in table A corresponds to one or more records in table B, but each record in table B corresponds to only one record in table A. For example, the relationship between a teacher's table and a student's table in an elementary school database would likely be a one-to-many relationship because each student has only one teacher, but each teacher has several students. This one-to-many design helps eliminate duplicated data. The third is many-to-many relationship. Many-to-many relationship occurs when each record in table A corresponds to one or more records in table B, and each record in table B corresponds to one or more records in table A. For example, the relationship between a teacher's and a course's table would likely be many-to-many because each teacher may instruct more than one course, and each course may have more than one instructor. Now my group members will explain further about database relationships. Thank you.
My name is Sannan Noor and our project name is Database Relationships. I am going to tell you about the importance of database relationships. A relational exists between two tables when one or more key fields from one table are matched to one or more key fields in the another table. Although data normalization brings many benefits, you need to relate your applications table to each other so that yours can view the data in the system as a single entity. It establishes a connection between a pair of tables that are logically related to each other. It also helps to refine table structure and minimize redundant data. It is the mechanism that enables to fetch data from multiple tables simultaneously. As shown in the table, a logical relationships exist between the data in the student table and the data in the student's instruments table. A student can check out one or more instruments during the course of a school of a year. So, a record in the student's table can be related to one or more records in the student's instrument table. Now, my group members will tell you further more about database relationships.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Musab Nazim and my topic is structure and design of database relationships. So let's begin. Introduction. The database as relational and relationship describe the way that data in tables are connected. A relational database consists of a series of two or more tables that are linked by a specific key. A relational database differs from unstructured database, which are more common in massive big data initiatives. So learning objective, there is no need to describe it, as you know. So let's begin. Structure and design of database relationship. First of all, fundamental of concept behind all database. First point, there are these things in business environment about which we need to store data, and these things are related to one another in a variety of ways. Second point, the idea behind a database is that the user, either a person working interactively or an application program, has no need to worry about how data are physically stored on disk. Third, Third point, why then don't the simple database the software packages produce the databases? Because they cannot represent relationships between data, much less use relationships to retrieve data. The problem is that list management software has been marketed for years as database software, and many purchasers do not understand what exactly they are buying. But there are three things that construct a database relationship. A relational database is a collection of tables. A relational database is a collection of related data. Tables, columns describe the specific species of information in the table, and each row stores the corresponding data.
My name is Humaira Arshad and my topic is database relationship. Uh, Three types of database. I am discuss about three types of key and database relationship: primary key, foreign key, and super key. What is primary key? Primary key is basically it is also a candidate that is you. It is also a candidate key that is most appropriate to become the main key for any table. It is a key for it is a key that can unique identify each records in a table. आप just इससे अपना basically ये key जो है यूनिक की होती है जिससे आप अपना पूरा डेटा फैच कर सकते हो. जैसे आपकी आईडी है, ठीक है, जो कि आपकी आईडी कोई और यूज़ नहीं कर सकता, उससे आप अपना नेम, फ़ोन नंबर, अपना एज, ये सारी चीज़ें आप उससे फैच कर सकते हो. और ना ही ये रिपीट हो रही होती है, ये मतलब कि प्राइमरी रिपीट भी नहीं होती, ठीक है. और जैसे आप अपना रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर है वो आपका क्या यूनिक ही है, किसी और का सेम नहीं हो सकता, ठीक है. इससे आप क्या कर सकते हो, हर स्टूडेंट का अलग से डेटा फैच कर सकते हो. सेकेंड इज़ फॉरेन की. Foreign key is basically it is a field are in one table that refer to the primary key is another table. इस तरह आप सिर्फ सोर्स आईडी है, कोर्स नेम है, स्टूडेंट आईडी है, फर्स्ट नेम, लास्ट नेम एंड कोर्सेज आईडी. इससे क्या कर सकते हो, पेरेंट टेबल और चाइल्ड टेबल है, आप अपना कोर्सेज आईडी जो है उस सेकेंड टेबल के अंदर, चाइल्ड टेबल के अंदर यूज़ कर सकते हो. यानी कि अपना कोर्सेज को देख सकते हो क्या किस कोर्स का क्या मतलब उसकी आईडी है, ठीक है. आप अपना पेरेंट टेबल से, चाइल्ड टेबल से अपना डेटा को क्या कर रहे हो, फैच कर सकते हो. फिर थर्ड इज़ सुपर की. सुपर की क्या है, आप क्या कर रहे हो, इसके अंदर स्टूडेंट आईडी है, नेम है, फ़ोन है और एज है. बेसिकली स्टूडेंट आईडी भी एक यूनिक की है जिससे आप अपना डेटा फैच कर सकते हैं. एंड अदर आपके पास फ़ोन नंबर जो है वो भी क्या है, एक यूनिक की है. किसी का फ़ोन नंबर सेम नहीं होता, आप उसको भी सुपर की है, ठीक है. यानी कि बेसिकली सुपर की वही होती है जो कि यूनिक होती है. थैंक यू.
My name is Fazila Saeed. Today I am going to explain you the advantages of database relationship. The first advantage of database relationship is its simplicity. The relation model structures data in a manner that avoids complexity. The table structure is an intuitive organization familiar to most users, particularly those who have worked with physical or software spreadsheets, check registers, or other tabular data. Data are organized naturally within the module, simplifying the development and use of the database. Ease of data retrieval. Under the relational model, accessing data in a database does not require navigating a rigid pathway. Users can query any table in the database and combine the data table using special join functions to include relevant data contained in other tables in the result. Users can choose which columns to include in the results so that only relevant data are displayed. Data integrity. Data integrity is an essential feature of the relation model. Strong data typing and validity checks ensure data fall within acceptable ranges and required data are present. Referential integrity among the table prevent record from becoming incomplete. Data integrity helps to ensure accuracy and consistency of the data. High flexibility. The relational database model is naturally scalable and extensible, providing a flexible structure to meet changing requirements. The relational model permits changes to a database structure to be implemented easily without impacting the data. High security. As the data is divided amongst the table of the relational database system, it is possible to make a few tables to be tagged as confidential and others not. This segregation is easily implemented with the relational database management system. Unlike other databases, when a data analyst tries to log in with the username and password, the database can set boundaries for their level of access. by providing admission only to the tables that they are allowed to work on. Data accuracy. In the patient database system, there can be multiple tables related to one another with the use of primary key and foreign key concept. This makes the data to be non-repetitive. There is no chance for the duplication of data, hence the accuracy of the data in the relational database is more than any other database system. Conclusion. To sum up all the advantages, a relational database helps in maintaining data integrity, data accuracy, reduce data redundancy, data scalability and flexibility, and facilitate makes it easy to implement security methods. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fahad Saeed and today I am going to tell you about disadvantages of database relationship. Relational databases are widely used in many industries to store financial records, keep track of inventory and to keep record on employees. Relational databases have some drawback costs. One disadvantage of relational databases is the expensive of setting up and maintaining the database system. In order to set up a relational database, you generally need to purchase special software. Structure limit. Some relational databases have limits on field length. When you design the database, you have to specify the amount of data you can fit into a field. Some names of such queries are shorter than the actual, and this can lead to data loss. Isolate databases. A complex relational database system can lead to these databases become islands of information where the information cannot be shared easily from one large system to another. Often with big firm or institute, you find relational databases grow in separate division differently. Performance. Are disadvantages in the use of relational database system is machine performance. If the number of tables between which relationship to be established are large and the tables themselves effective and performance is respond the SQL queries. Physical storage consumption. With an interactive system, it is therefore common in relational databases to tune the databases, and in such a case, the physical data layout would be chosen so as the given good performance in the most frequently run operations. Slow extraction of meaning from data. If the data is naturally organized in a heterotextual manner and stored as such, a heterotextual approach may give quick meaning of that data. Here is the disadvantage of data.
My name is Rohail Ahmed. My topic is Relational Database Management System. Relational Database Management System, most popular database system. मॉडल बेस करता है टेबल्स रॉज एंड कॉलम्स एंड मैनिपुलेशन करता है डेटा स्टोर करता है रिलेशनल डेटाबेस इज अ कलेक्शन ऑफ दिस टेबल्स. अगर मैं इसकी एग्जांपल की बात करूँ तो वहाँ पर ओरेकल आता है, साइबेस आता है, माई एसक्यूएल और माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफ एक्सेस करता है. बाकी अगर मैं रिलेशनल और डेटाबेस मॉडल की टर्मिनोलॉजी की बात करूँ तो रिलेशन द टपल्स आती हैं, एट्रीब्यूट्स आती हैं, डोमेन होती हैं, डिग्रीज होती हैं, कार्डिनलिटी होती है इसके अंदर हमारे पास, और इसके क्या नाम है, फाइल नंबर है, इसके अंदर हमारे पास टाइटल है, डायरेक्टर है और कंट्री वगैरह ईयर है, बाकी सारी चीज़ें मेंशन है. अगर मैं डिफरेंस बिटवीन DBMS एंड RDBMS की बात करूँ तो हमारे पास DBMS स्टोर करता है सिंगल लार्ज टेबल, RDBMS डेटाबेस इज अ ब्रोकन डाउन. अगर मैं जो है आप द फ्यूचर ऑफ जो RDBMS की बात करूं आपसे, तो जो है ना क्या नाम है, इसके अंदर RDBMS जो है हमारे ऑल्टरनेटिव वर्जन है XML का.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hasan Ahmed, and today we are going to discuss about the uses of database relationship. Database relationship is used to work with the records from more than one table. You often must create a query that joins the table. Moreover, the queries work by matching the values in the primary key field of a table with the foreign key field in the second table. Database relationship is also used when you design a form or report. MS Excel Access use the information it gathers from the table relationship. In the designing a database, it is used to divide information into tables which has primary key and then add foreign key to the related table that reference those primary keys. Database relationship used to create one-to-many relationship, and other than that many-to-many relationship and one-to-one relationship.
Okay, so moving to the last tab, which is the application and the uses of RDBMS. By the way, my name is Shabeeh, and I'm going to tell you about it. So, relational database model was designed to solve the problem of multiple arbitrary data, and here the RDBMS stand for Relational Database Management System. And how it works: RDBMS use a table to store data. Table is the simplest example of data storage. Also, table is considered as the most convenient representation of relation. So here in the example one, we have shown the table which has given the course ID, course name, and the teacher ID. Here the course table primary key is the course ID and the foreign key is the teacher's ID. What we are going to do, we are going to create a relation between two tables. Here we can see that we have another table where we have the teacher's ID and the teacher's name. So what is going to happen in this particular table, what is happening, the teacher's key, which is a foreign key, is creating a relation between two tables. As previously you can see the teacher ID here represent that which course is going to be taught by which teacher, and here you can have the names as well. So we can say that the teacher's ID foreign key has helped to establish a relationship between courses and the table, a teacher's table. So, and now here we have a typical example of one-to-one relationship. Here we have two tables. Number one, the employees table, which is representing the data and the information about particular employee. Here we have the first name as Zachary, and he has the employee ID as 100 and all the information. So what is happening here in the second table, we have the compensation, hourly rates, and the commission rates of the particular employee. So what is happening, the foreign key employee ID is working as a foreign key, and it is creating a relation between the two tables. Moving on to the next example, which is a table of bibliographic data. So bibliographic data is kind of data where we have the authors, book titles, and year of publication, such kind of information. So here we can see we have the author's name, but you can notice that we are having almost six to seven different books, on from which four books are written by the same author. So one author have four different name formats. Here you can see on the first and second is the same with the C.S. Lewis, and after that is Clive Staples Lewis, and last one is Lewis C.S. So here we are going to have some problems regarding the name. So what we are going to do, we are going to arrange it in the same format and create a relational data, another table, and going to make a relation. As you can see, David Mitchell and David Lewis are two different, two same name with two different last name, but David Mitchell have the one name and two authors. Okay, so what we can do is we can also rectify with the birth year, but the problem here is that this involves lots of repetition. But not only that, here is the year of application and may get confusing and unwidely. So what we are going to do, we are going to make a separate table for authors. Here we can have the ID number, author's name, birth year, and the death year, and the further information that we want to have for the authors. So what is going to happen, we are going to make another table, and this is going to make the relation. So here's the here we can see the ID number or the author name can be the relation foreign key between the two tables. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you some commonly used, I'm going to tell you the name of some commonly used software, which is number one is the MySQL, and it is most commonly used these days. Apart from that, here is the screenshot of the software that we have, SQL. And okay, so second software is Microsoft SQL Server, and it has the same thing but the different company name. Here are some more software names, so that in future if you want to work on that, so you can have the names and you can know anything regarding to it. Thank you, and